Okay, guys, welcome to this. What are we playing, Wilson?
We're playing Superfight, the loot crate variant, apparently. Basic concept is that two people are going to have a discussion over who would win in a fight, and that's going to be determined by us drawing cards with that info on them.
Yes.
And we changed the rules a little bit, so there will be like a judge who will say... Judge. Yep. And that's it.
Yep.
We're not too worried about the winner. We're just going to do this for fun.
Yes, let's do it.
So I think we're doing me and Eric first. So.
Yep. So 3 of each.
3 white and 3 black.
Equality. That's what I like in my games.
And then...
Why are these faced up?
I don't know. Why those are faced up. Those are... Wait.
You're just hugging that microphone.
This one wasn't even... okay, so I'll pick another one.
Is it like a rules?
We'll choose 1 white, 1 black, and then discard the other 2. Well, I mean, come on now.
They're thinking really hard.
No, not at all. This is...
I think Wilson's got one in the bag here.
Well, it's like, do I want to go with the one that for sure will put up a fight?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to win,
But
Brecco.
there's one that...
Hey, if you can make a good argument for the other...
We get to make our choice. Yeah, so, like, you choose whatever you think would be the strongest. I'm definitely choosing that.
Okay. Have you thought of my bias, maybe? My judgment bias?
No, because I would assume that a judge would come into an event like this with no bias.
throw
And
away
Nope,
the others?
that's not how I'm playing it.
just discard them. Yeah, but keep those 2 separate.
And I pick
Because we might have to use those.
1 blue, 1 purple.
Once we've revealed our fighters, I'd say let's reveal that. Just
Yep.
I don't know. Okay. So at the same time, we'll just flip them over, and then say as well, because obviously we're. So.
Okay.
What do you got, boys?
Godzilla, armed with a surface-to-air missile launcher.
Holy shit.
I have 2 Tribbles, commands an army of disposable minions.
Wow.
So now you'll choose a blue and a purple. Don't show them to us immediately. I'd like you to just like take from the top. Take from the top.
Why?
Because we have to draw from them.
Oh. Well,
It'll just be easier that way.
okay. Can I shuffle?
Sure.
Shuffle.
Shuffle.
Okay. Which one do I reveal first?
I'd say both
Both?
in
Double whammy.
succession. Like where and what's.
Okay. So here's the condition. The fighters cannot see or hear. And it's in an undersea research station.
Okay.
I'm winning.
Why?
Godzilla not gonna fit in an underwater research facility.
He's gonna
Also, what
trample all over
good
it.
surface-to-air missile launcher while you're under the surface?
Doesn't matter. I'm also Godzilla. I don't need to fit in no research station.
But that's where the fight is.
Doesn't need to be.
Okay, tell me your powers, Bracho.
I'm a Tribble.
Yep.
You know what the trouble with Tribbles
Tribbles
are?
from Star Trek.
Trouble with Tribbles is those motherfuckers.
Multiply.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they got a...
And commanding an army of disposable fucking minions.
Okay.
Okay, so how would you defeat Godzilla with the surface-to-air missile launcher?
How can Tribbles put up any more of a physical fight than humans already do? And Godzilla already takes out humans by the scores. Like,
Pretty easy.
Would you say Godzilla could decimate all of the Tribbles and they couldn't multiply anymore, or would they just continually multiply?
here's a question that I have for clarification on this.
Continue.
Do I need to choose a specific Godzilla, or just Godzilla in general?
You can be Gadzuki.
No. God, no.
I'd say the Toho
So
Godzilla.
So
You don't get to choose. It's my card.
it's
here's-
Godzilla. Like,
Okay.
But here's
you want the Matthew
here's
Broderick
General-
one?
No.
here's a secondary
I was just asking
question.
for, like,
Here's a
more
secondary question. Since the fight is happening underwater,
Underwater research station, so it doesn't have to be underwater. It's in a station underwater.
yes, but so like Godzilla obviously couldn't fit in there.
In the station, but he's like down there.
So second question then, does Godzilla breath work underwater?
It'd turn it into like heat, like really hot, like
I mean, I think
water, like
it
torch.
has been fired underwater before. I haven't.
I don't remember.
I
it
don't
would be a
remember,
lot
but
of
I would
bubbles.
assume,
He'd
like,
make a lot of bubbles.
There's fucking so many.
Okay.
There's so much Godzilla out there that I
Secondary.
would assume that has happened.
So can I move out into the water?
Do Tribbles?
Yeah,
Can they
I don't see
survive
why
in the
not.
water?
This is that's just like
My-
the starting location of our fight.
My thing then, my Tribbles, my 2 Tribbles, they're multiplying like a mofo already. Plus, I have an army of disposable minions, right? So what we would do to take the
Minions
fight-
are humans in this case, right?
doesn't say.
I would say disposable, like just stormtroopers or like.
Yeah,
minions
well,
of-
I think we'll assume
So-
minions being like humans.
not like minions from
No, God, no.
Minions.
No. What my tactic would be is have my human minions, right? Just distracting a motherfucker, right? Shooting underwater guns at him.
Being killed by his surface to air.
Yep. Disposable.
or by him
but-
in general.
but-
Swipes and tails.
My Tribbles, they're going to be floating in the water, right? And what they would do then,
Why would they float?
they're Tribbles. They're light.
Do tribbles float?
Yes. You just look at them. They're little fluff balls.
I would think they look like sponges.
At
and
a
they would just
certain depth,
absorb.
though, buoyancy's not going to matter. Or they would just be going up out of the fight
Okay, whatever.
if you're in the water.
They're
We're
swimming.
supposed to argue it. We're supposed to
They're
argue it.
swimming. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm amending in my head. They're in the water, achieving movement of some sort.
Okay. Fair.
They
They daisy chain up to the surface somehow.
no, they get in his orifice, whether it be a nostril or a mouth. And since there's so many of those bastards, they're just gonna pile in there until they just suffocate him.
I can see how that could work.
Can tribbles breathe underwater?
Can Godzilla breathe underwater?
Yeah.
No, he can't. He's a lizard. Can't breathe underwater. Doesn't have
Well,
gills.
he can at least hold his breath underwater for a very long time because he goes under the water
But
all
what
the fucking
happens-
He
time.
emerges from the water.
But
he
what
does
happens,
emerge, but
what
he also-
happens when his lungs get filled up with tribbles?
What happens when he decimates the tribbles before they can even get to him? Same thing with the humans.
More
He's not going to get
tribbles.
distracted by humans. He's going to not give a shit and just kill
He's
them.
not gonna even pay attention to the tribbles.
Exactly. Until they start trying to attack him, then he'd be like, fuck this, and Godzilla his way out of there. He's Godzilla, king of the monsters.
How many disposable minions do you have? Just a
An
lot?
army.
An army.
That's a lot.
So
But it's not unlimited.
it's not unlimited.
It's not
Neither-
unlimited,
neither
but
are
it's an
tribbles.
army.
Neither are
Those are-
tribbles.
Tribbles, as long as there's at
Two?
least 2,
They can multiply.
they're unlimited. So you could have
But it's
the
not.
2.
It's not an
What you could
instantaneous
do-
compounding thing. It wouldn't
It's
just
pretty
be
quick,
2.
though.
It is pretty quick, but it wouldn't be like 2, 4, 6. Like it wouldn't be like that.
Not like
Like
that.
spontaneous
But
multiplication.
what I'm saying is, as long we're gonna have these 2 tribbles are going to be in the base.
in the underwater research
Yeah,
station.
while they're throwing their fuck seeds out into the ocean.
And then
murder.
I mean, Godzilla, in my thought, would just be, anything out in the water with him. He's clawing and swiping and.
My
tailing,
thought is he's not
and then-
paying attention to anything that's not a real threat.
well,
then Godzilla
he
breath in
cannot.
the entire
He
station.
cannot
He sees
see
him coming.
or hear. Both you
Well,
guys
that's a good
cannot
point.
see or
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, look in the tribbles.
Oh shit! Can't see or hear. What was the other thing? We can't see or hear.
It's in the underwater
Underwater.
research
Underwater.
station.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Well, then I mean, it would come down to like if something started touching him,
Yeah.
like Godzilla, and he
It
noticed
would have
that
to be sensory. It would have to be
sensory.
then he would
or
just
just wanton destruction.
touch sensory.
Tribbles don't have a hive mind, correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
They also don't have
think
eyes
that-
and ears though.
I don't think that they do.
They're not like a living organism.
They're a living organism, but they don't
They're-
have eyes.
They have eyes?
They don't.
They don't have
No,
eyes.
they're
so
just-
they already can't
or
see.
ears.
Little balls of
They're just little
Fluff.
bars of fluff. So they're already like fine with that situation.
So they're more adapt to it.
Yeah.
Godzilla needs to see his
Yeah.
prey, I would say.
Or else he's just wanting like
So
Yeah,
that's
but still, chomp down on a huge mouthful of tribbles.
you're getting them where they want to go.
Not when he bites them and fucking eats them. Like, just
But-
crushes them in his mouth.
But like that's a big mouth. At least some of those tribbles are gonna survive.
They're still going right down his gullet. burned up in whatever digestive system that motherfucker has.
Or they made their way down his windpipe instead.
If he started feeling that, that'd be instant Godzilla breath. Taking out whatever's in or around the mouth.
Yeah,
How
where
does
does
Godzilla breath work?
where
though?
does the Godzilla
know.
breath? Do you know where it originates? Is it like in the stomach or just like?
It's a radiation based like energy beam that he just shoots. Like he builds it up from inside of him. Whatever they've gone into this kind of stuff before. But like
Yeah,
he
there's
builds
like
it
an
up in-
anatomy thing of it, but
like from whatever radioactive process happens in his body. It's like a byproduct that he can just like okay.
Okay. So even if the Tribbles tried to go down and suffocate him, he could swallow them and they would get radiated and they would die
it's true.
from where it originates.
But I mean,
It would be a suicide mission for the Tribbles.
It always is,
It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't be a.
except for the two that are in the base.
It would be a. Okay,
So how would my only question with that is like how would the two Tribbles in the base once they've started multiplying and they have like this huge amount?
But what you have to think about too is now
How would they
Tribbles
Now,
are
just-
non-aggressive. It seems they don't go and attack. They just like to multiply and they just
And the
make a
thing
nuisance.
The thing is too is once the two Tribbles have multiplied, then there's another combination of two Tribbles.
No, I understand that.
And two Tribbles and two Tribbles. So a bunch of Tribbles are gonna be multiplying real quick.
But I don't know how long it takes, but like
I don't know.
So-
let's say
Eventually, that underwater
maybe, I
research
don't know.
station is going to be just.
full of fucking
Full
Tribbles.
of Tribbles.
Yeah, that's why they're pumping them out.
So at a certain point,
Godzuki.
they're just gonna all decompress in the water.
They're all going out there except for a couple of them.
They're gonna be super pressurized from all the weight of the water.
the
But
only
there's a deep, like in a lot of underwater bases, there's a depressurizing system, isn't there?
But if
No.
the station
Well, I mean,
collapses from the abundance
the
of
only-
Tribbles,
yeah. Of the abundance of Tribbles.
you get down there and the process of getting down there is the pressurization change.
By that point,
thing.
there's already so many goddamn Tribbles.
they'd be leaking out of the.
At that
The-
point, there's
the
so
only
many in
thing-
that water already.
Underwater is going to be a big disadvantage for you, as far as I know. Like
Yes.
Tribbles are like carbon-based beings that I don't know if they breathe, but like
I have no idea.
They don't have mouths.
They don't have mouths. Don't have eyes.
I don't know.
Don't have noses.
I don't
Don't have
fucking
ears.
know.
I'm gonna leave this to now the group. I'm not gonna. I would say Godzilla has the better advantage because of the fact that he has a mouth.
Underwater
He
a
has
lot,
He is underwater a lot.
and
he has
he's
a-
huge.
yeah.
And
he has abilities
That's
to
even when he can't see or hear, he can still just blast shit and not
And
know what it is.
Even if
Yeah.
that doesn't work, he's got a surface-to-air missile, but
But see, would that surface-to-air missile even help underwater?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
It's only surface
It's like
to.
that.
If the Tribbles could fly, it's to air.
It's
so-
up to the same question as the army of disposable minions for me. Does that mean that the army of disposable minions has the stuff necessary to them to fight underwater or to fight at all?
Right?
I would say-
it's a lot of
or is it
assumption, but because it's a base underwater, I would assume that there's shit. You have to
Research
assume
base.
research base, but they still
like
have to have
flippers
things.
and wetsuits, maybe.
They still have to have things. If an army is there already, like they have to have army vehicles.
They would have to have
They had to have
submarines.
got there somehow.
No.
submarines
This is
and-
just an army. Like it could have said like 300 Spartans. Those are just 300 Spartans displaced at a time.
Yeah.
So
Just an
I would
army of
imagine
disposable
an
minions.
army, however you want to imagine it, whether they have guns or
Right.
like.
All I'm saying is we're not going to be on the surface,
That's true.
and we're not going to be in the air.
I would say it would be a
Yes, that is a
stalemate.
point.
It would be a
So
stalemate
if
until.
it was like he had a missile launcher, like I could see you arguing the validity of a rocket launcher or missile launcher underwater, but since it's specifically a surface to air one,
Yeah.
To air.
No, I'm
but
not arguing for that at all.
you're still even without that, it's still Godzilla, right?
And that's the only reason that at the very beginning I was like, oh, easy. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's fucking Godzilla. They've matched him up against how many other things and he wins.
Are other cards gonna come into play
Nope,
at any
that
point?
was your
They're
battle.
just
Unless it was-
discarded,
unless
we're
it was a
throwing them away,
tie.
right?
Unless
We're
it was
throwing
a
them away.
tie.
Okay. But the one I originally wanted to do was two Tribbles wrapped in toilet paper.
That'd be a good one.
I had, what were the other ones? A Derby Girl and Keanu Reeves. Yeah, Derby
See-
Girl and Keanu Reeves.
See, I could have gone the safe route and went Iron Giant.
Ooh, that'd be a good fight.
That would
But
be
it
a good
didn't.
fight.
That'd be an awesome fight. But they can't steal
And
here.
then also, yes, my Iron Giant and Dr. Horrible were my two other choices. And then wrapped in toilet paper or can only be killed by a stake through the heart.
Wow.
See that's
So
an
if I
interesting
would have
one.
won that with the Tribble one too, but if I went with
The
Tribbles.
parameters are pretty fun too.
Iron Giant wrapped in toilet paper.
See
would be
that
pretty sweet.
I don't know. I wish like
But Iron Giant commanding an army of disposable minions, that would have been
pretty
pretty
dope.
tight.
I like
That
that.
would have been a fight.
Yeah, that would.
But
be
like,
yeah.
I didn't want to go with the base gas fight. Didn't want to do it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, everybody.
Yep, that
We're
was
gonna
round
be back
Round
with
one.
one more in round 2.
If that wasn't a definitive answer, yes, Godzilla definitely won that.